Lou, some strong words. You're smiling.
Yeah.
What is your response to Roger's statement? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think he is one of the most feared players, if not the most feared player in the league, because Sue plays the game right up at the edge of the line, and then he will cross.
Lou, you know how Haley was. He played similar, the same way. If you're on the bottom of a pile, well, certain things may get squeezed and they might get hit and certain things happen, and the perception just...
Eli Manning has thrived in the short passing game over the last 2 seasons. Now, Lou, with Odell Beckham Jr. and the addition, of course, of Sterling Shepard, will that open up the passing game specifically for Beckham Jr. now that they have all these weapons?
Play fast. Now he's not worrying about what his footwork is supposed to be specifically in this offense. Now he's just freeing up his mind and just letting his body take over. This offense is going to be dangerous, man. I'm telling you, if they can work in and...
Is it the most dangerous? Do they have the deepest threat, deepest passing attack threat in the league, Darren?
And I don't think that's their mindset, what McAdoo.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Baltimore. I've heard Ravens fans speak up about their rivalry. I mean, is this the most heated now between these two teams?
Yeah, it seems to be, because these teams seem to genuinely not like personal. Just, you know, there's tweets and stuff about guys kind of like challenging each other off the field. So, yeah, this is one that you're going to have to watch.
And that's the difference. I mean, on the field, you normally see that rivalry. You understand.
Still in the house.
Nope.
And Tom Waddle to break it all down for you. And we have these gentlemen also joining us. But let's start now with Eric Berry, one of the top safeties in the league. Now, Shefty, what's the latest on his status with the Chiefs?
There hasn't been a lot of optimism, but they have 24 hours to try to work out their differences.
Well, now, technically, Berry could negotiate with other teams, as you mentioned, but they would have to give up 2 first-round picks if they sign him away from Kansas City. Is Berry worth 2 first-round picks for anyone? Darren, maybe someone like the Panthers, who lacked that depth in the secondary, and they'll draft in the bottom of the first round. You're shaking your head.
You know,
I see a safety bias coming.
You know what? As much as I love Eric Berry and his versatility and all the things he can do, listen, he can do it all. Cover the slot receiver because of the tight end, blitz from the safety position, play in the hole.
I love for Berry, but we need to move on to Von Miller. Talk about getting a deal done. The biggest name dominating the headlines. A Vikings player, Adam, and a good friend of Miller's told me, I know he won't take anything less than the most ever for a non-QB, but you're really in the know, and you know all that's going on. So what is your thought on his situation with the Broncos?
I think they'll get into that he won't play this year under the franchise tender. But $14.2 million, any way you slice it, is a lot of money, particularly when you're not playing for a full season, particularly when you have over $60 million in guaranteed money already on the table. Somehow, some way, in the end, there's too much at stake for both sides. They have to figure out a way to get this done, and I think they will.
You beat me to it. I mean, he has been adamant that he will sit out. Tom, your thoughts on, let's just keep saying $14.2 million. That's a lot to forego.
It resonates with me. But wow, I can't imagine. But you and I were having the conversation. He's the heart and soul of that team. Inside that locker room. I would say at the end.
He is on course to make as much money as Andrew Luck did. That's really the situation here.
That's Timothy Mozgov money as well.
Hey, he's the one who's really taking us to the bank. Darren, we've seen this go both ways. Do you think this is a smart choice for Cousins to bet on himself?
You know, I like the fact. I think it's not going to get done. For $19 million.
He signed it.
And he's happy with it. Why not?
And don't forget, this is the first time that he's headed into the season with this being his team, his starting job, his offense. There's always been the specter and the shadow of RG3. That's not the case anymore. His job now.
I think this is win-win. I think it works for both sides. I really do.
All right. Moving on now. We got the Jets. They have a lot of issues to take care of in-house, especially, namely the quarterback, which I'm sure you'll continue to monitor as well, but Muhammad Wilkerson.
Well, interesting factoid here. It's not going to get done.
For $19 million.
He signed it.
And he's happy with it. Why not?
And don't forget, this is the first time that he's headed into the season with this being his team, his starting job, his offense. There's always been the specter and the shadow of RG3. That's not the case anymore. His job now.
I think this is win-win. I think it works for both sides. I really do.
All right. Moving on now. We got the Jets. They have a lot of issues to take care of in-house, especially, namely the quarterback, which I'm sure you'll continue to monitor as well, but Muhammad Wilkerson.
Well, interesting factoid here. Extension.
What's that number?
For Tremaine Johnson.
For the franchise tag. What is the number?
13-8.
13-8.
Now,
13-6, something like that.
We all have our eyes wide open, but every corner nowadays wants to say that they're that shut down that top corner. So is he, Darren?
He is probably one of the most underrated corners in the league. And I had the chance to watch him go head-to-head with Dez Bryant last year at training camp. He started most of the fight.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You're good? All right. Well, everyone forgets the kicker, right? Not us. And neither does Baltimore. Justin Tucker kicked the game-winning field goal in 3 of the Ravens' only 5 wins last season. It was a tough year. So, Shefty, what is the latest in those negotiations? In 24 hours, will this be done?
Well, at one point during the offseason, Justin Tucker said it was not
He's one of those guys that goes up and gets the ball, makes the big plays for you. Just interesting to see what Kevin White does.
Again,
some unhappy fantasy owners last season.
Yes.
So I heard.
Yeah.
All right.
asking for a friend. That would be you.
Well, not even